Well, we're in a new location today.
Yes,
inside Marco's.
Inside Marco's.
The Trattoria is very elegant, modern. I guess you call this mid-century modern cafe.
They wouldn't let us in at first because they were worried about our sense of responsibility.
Yeah, things we might say in public.
We did 60 shows out there, and nobody complained about Harry at all.
That's right.
From a dancer, she said, "I watch your show all the time." Sissy Boyd. She's from a theatrical family. Her husband's an actor. Her son's got a TV series. And her daughter is an actress, yeah.
She got hooked on it, huh?
Sissy Boyd.
Yeah. Well, say hello to Sissy Boyd.
She's from the famous Sissy Boyd theatrical family. You've heard of him. Guy Boyd.
Guy Boyd. Yes, we have.
I went last night to see the restoration of Wings, and Bradbury spoke. It was a 100-year celebration of Paramount, and Tom Sherman spoke. William Wellman's son. William Wellman directed it. You know, this won the first Academy Award in 1927. The aerial footage is just incredible.
Yeah,
it cost $2 million.
Wasn't that a Howard Hughes production?
No, that was another one. That might have been Jet Pilot, but this one is William Wellman, Jesse Lasky, and they were the first two big moguls here in Hollywood. Remember, Paramount did the first Hollywood movie at the Salmon Vine, the Squaw Man. It cost what, $40,000 or $50,000?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the first feature.
Now, how did that all start?
Right here. Go like this. Right here, your lower lip in the center.
It started with
Marco's. We were talking about Marco's.
It started with I went to the movies and all of them got lost.
I went to the movies,
yeah. That's what I did last night.
Wings, yeah.
Yeah, I saw Dragon Tattoo last night.
Oh, I want to see that.
Now, that was the American version.
I saw it in Dutch. Is it much different than the Dutch version?
Was it Dutch or Swedish?
Swedish, I thought.
Denmark.
You know, I didn't see the original. I had it, never saw it.
Is it much different?
I don't know.
It's the same. I saw the first
You saw
three,
both, yeah.
And then the American version, I saw the trailer. I knew everything that happened.
Oh, so it's exactly the same story.
It's the same story,
so
different actors.
Why do you think they did it again?
Yeah.
American money. They want to sell it to the American public. Some people don't like to read subtitles, right?
That could be it. What'd you think of the American production version?
You know, I was watching the trailer and I knew everything that was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the original actress better. What was her name? Salander or Solander or something like that?
Why is it that the European films can do things in a more natural basis?
I'll tell you why, because Americans want to pay off. Every time there's a scene, they want to pay off.
Yeah.
European films are more leisurely.
Leisurely, that's right. A different pacing.
Yeah, there's more sense of reality.
Yeah, they'll hold longer on a thought or an idea.
Well, like Scorsese, he's a product of the American narrative, that cogent central narrative, plus the European, you know, the new wave.
Right.
It's more mood, sometimes emotional, it's more mood.
I ask you, how many people in this country can talk about films where you talk about this?
People like you.
They just say, you've been to the movie? Yeah, I've been to the movie just 6 months ago. I saw Red Boat.
You know why?
Buddy Hackett.
You know why? Because I work with Scorsese. He's a true historian. John and Demi, he's a historian. People love movies. Everybody, why do you think we all came to Hollywood?
He's already Harry. Scorsese's doing fine.
No, but I'm just saying, we all came to Hollywood, most of us, to work in the movies.
Huh?
We all came to Hollywood to work in the movies.
I think that the thing I liked about Scorsese is no two movies are the same. You know, he completely changes genre entirely.
It's
you know,
funny, his name and his look is totally against how he talks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what it is? I'll tell you why. If you ever walk alongside of him and you feel his rhythms, he's got that Blakean energy.
All the time.
Where all of a sudden you see that energy up on the screen.
Yeah, I guess you do. You know,
you are. I saw you in Rocky, you're the same person you are right here. I see David's paintings. We are who we are up there in our work, right?
Yes.
And you have to put the personal, the passion in there, right? And you're not a different guy when you do your act, right? You're who you are.
You got a little different because everything is heightened. You know, it's like I always get like a nervous feeling in my stomach. And it was Tony Bennett that told me that. I said, I'm always trying to get rid of that. He said, no, you get rid of that, you're dead. That's
Probably.
The energy. That's the.
Yeah, that's right. Your energy building up.
You're going to talk in front of 10,000 people now. You can't just say hello, lady.
Well, also Scorsese believes in personal filmmaking, like Cassavetes. Some people believe that. Otherwise, some people just do whatever. They're gun for hire. They get a job, they'll just sell out. They'll do whatever the studio tells them.
What do you personal film?
Well, look at his first film. The first shot you ever see of Scorsese, when he's a little kid, you see him looking out, he had asthma, so you see him looking out the fire escape window at the street, and that's in his movie. Who's That Knocking on the Door? You see that where he learned the streets in Little Italy. So that he brings his own.
Is that where he's from, Little Italy?
Yeah, his own Elizabeth. Well, he was in Queens. He grew up in Little Italy, then they moved to Queens and back. But he brings the authentic ambiance, right?
Yeah.
How'd you meet him?
Harvey Keitel recommended me to him, and I went down to 42nd Street at the office he was using, and I met him, and he hired me, and I did his first 6 pictures in his first TV show.
Oh, what was his first TV show?
His first TV show was Amazing Stories, produced by Spielberg.
Oh,
He did
yes,
one called
yes.
Mirror Mirror with Sam Waterston and Helen Shaver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was your first television show?
First television show was CBS Talent Scouts. That was the one I got from Jacqueline Suzanne. Jacqueline Suzanne wrote a book called about Hollywood, and she was married to the producer of the CBS Talent Scout show.
Yeah.
And I used to do a thing in my act about I used to hate the Germans and the Japanese, and I like the Russians and the Chinese. And now I hate the Chinese and hate the Germans and the Japanese. And now I know I'm hating, but I don't know who. So he says, I want that on television. I want you to just say that. I don't care what else you do. I need 5 minutes. And because of that, I was able to do some stuff that nobody had to okay, you know.
Yeah.
Never character of stand-up.
Stand-up. That never would have gotten okay. But he wanted me to say that.
What year?
This was, well, it was in the 60s. 62 or something.
Yeah, I'd like to see a kinescope of
I
that.
hate the Germans and the Japanese, and I like the Russians and the Chinese, and now I hate the Russians and the Chinese, and I hate the Germans and the Japanese. I know I hate, but I don't know who. And people wrote that. And then, strangely enough, 4 days later, I see that written on box.
Oh, he grafted it, did he? Oh, the devil.
But he was such a talented man.
Yeah.
We both must have had the same thought.
What was your first movie you acted in?
My first movie, believe it or not, was an extra in New York. And Never Steal Anything Small with Humphrey, with James Cagney. I was very excited. We had to go down to the docks.
Yeah.
I was one of about 150 guys in the bar and yelling. And all I saw was Cagney pull up in this little car and film it. It's that exciting.
And you got your SAG card from that. New York SEG members can be in SAG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to. I think you did probably. When I was in New York, they were shooting a movie called Love with a Proper Stranger, and I know a bunch of Italian
Steve
Jewish
McQueen
guys,
was in that.
and they played musicians in the Union Hall.
Yeah.
They were all excited about that.
About what?
And just like you were.
Love with a Proper Stranger, just being in with big stars, Natalie Wood, Steve McQueen.
They built stars up to such a degree in those days. I don't think you can get that feeling that they used to get from running into a star today.
No, not at all.
Because they didn't do all the talk shows, it was more mystique involved, right?
Yeah, they kept
and
it close to the
when
best.
they come on the show, they want you to think of them as anything but the star. They don't want to think of it just like them. You know, you're just like them.
Also, years ago, I saw a picture or an article rather, about the old movie stars and then the actors on TV.
Old movie stars, you mean movie stars in the old days, not old people
Yeah,
movie stars.
like for example, they showed how like Betty Davis.
You didn't answer the question.
Yes, I said yes.
You did.
You know, they would show their whole body, whereas on television, sometimes like Farrah Fawcett, you just see like the hair. They call it hair acting.
Yeah.
You just see the
Well, the hair acting?
Yeah, because you'd just be like
What
in this.
do bald people do? They
Bald
Skin acting.
You wouldn't see the whole body, like, you know, on the screen, we're used to seeing like Fred Astaire.
yeah,
He
you'd
had
see
this
full
contract
frame,
to have
yeah.
the whole body in there, as opposed to, you know, Bosman doing little clips here and there.
Yeah.
You know,
Because he was all
I'll tell you one thing.
visual
I
that
think
way.
if you lined up all toupees in the Screen Actors Guild,
wow. Yes.
you saw all the actors who have those, they're coming to the left or they're hanging to the right, they're hanging back here. They really throw that toupee on.
Well, the thing about all the big old Hollywood stars that wore tubes.
The people following, getting older.
Yeah.
Getting older, character rather than wanting to see them. Jesus, he was 42 in his last 12 movies.
what about Burt Reynolds? As he gets older, his toupee keeps coming lower.
That's strange things
What
happen.
were you going to say about the old movie stars?
Well, I was thinking, can you name some of the big stars who actually wore toupees? Yeah. It wasn't their own hair.
Was Clark Gable would destroy me if that wasn't his own.
I believe that was his, but you know, Bing Crosby had a hairpiece.
Bing Crosby had a hairpiece, yeah.
And who else was big then? John Wayne.
Why does Donald Trump? He looks like he's got a hairpiece.
No, that's real
I don't think he's got a
hair.
hair.
Yeah, it's real hair. It's just a bad hairdo.
What about Howard Cosell? He just looked like a pork chop on top of his head.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali always tried to rip it off. Remember?
I wrote a Super Bowl show where Howard Cosell was one of the guest stars. And on that we had Telly Savalas, that was I guess the 70s, Telly Savalas, and a couple of very big names. But the biggest name of that show was Howard Cosell.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Wow.
He was a big star.
He would give his opinion on anything. It doesn't have to be baseball or football.
Loved his vocabulary. His metaphors are terrific.
And the way he draw words loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't associate intellect with sports at that time.
No, not until he came along.
Now I'm sure they don't associate intellect with sports because those sports shows, man, to me, they're horrible. They're horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I really love football, baseball, hockey.
Well, what's even worse, if you go to, which I don't do, you get invited somewhere to a bunch of guys and they're watching a football game or a boxing match, and all these guys, these actors, are all talking like they're the greatest athletes, and most of them never played sports in their life, right? And they're hit them, and you think, God, how did I even let myself get? And a friend of mine, he invited
have
people.
the outfits on there, the hats.
He put, you know what he did? He invited a bunch of actors over to his house. He put a secret microphone in the middle of the table. After they left, he listened to it, and all the actors were just kept talking about themselves. They didn't even, you know what I mean? Self-absorption, right?
I guess that's why they're so successful. They're completely self-absorbed.
That's a worse one. They're yelling at the
Are
TV.
most people really self-absorbed?
I don't think so, no.
Some people are very giving. Here in Hollywood, they're totally self-absorbed actors.
I think it's the worst thing to be because, you know, there's that great poem I heard a long time ago. One of the first poem that stuck in my mind. It's not yours, Harry. I don't know how it came into my brain. It was when I was a beauty, I am not a star. There are others more handsome by far. But my face I don't mind it, for I am behind it. Is the people in front that I judge. And I remember when I read that, I said, holy shit, I don't have to worry about myself at all. I am myself. I am. I am.
That's right.
I am functioning, you know. I gotta worry about what's around me, what's coming toward me, to the side.
You're a
to the
very
front,
caring person,
you know?
so is David.
So that's interesting that vanity, all this vanity. That's what the Bible do, but that's not too good. Vanity.
Narcissism.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you know, the definition of a narcissist is if that person comes in the room, he doesn't see anybody but himself.
That's right.
And all the addicts, most addicts, they're totally
They don't see anybody but themselves.
They go to a wedding for somebody else, and it's all about them.
Sure,
right?
They miss out on life like that, don't they?
Well,
I mean, opening up other people.
It's a Western civilization too. Remember Keats, the great poet? He was talking about this one time. He said, "You don't see violets. These beautiful
I heard him
violets."
just the other day, Keats.
You never heard?
He's got a
Keats
big
was saying,
mouth. He's dirty.
Keats said, "You never hear violets, these beautiful flowers alongside the road, saying, look at me, look how beautiful I am."
Humorous interruptions in your
Humorous asides, yeah.
Once you start one of your orations, if you hear a comment on it, you just keep on going.
Try to remember.
Why? Oh,
I don't want to get derailed.
So I'm afraid you're afraid to.
You'll lose the train of thought.
I know how us old people are.
Okay, no, you can't do that anymore, man. You can't worry about
Remember,
that.
I've interrupted you, and now all of a sudden you said, "Harry, I can't remember where I was."
Okay, but I
well, let's interrupt you and say, give us a word of the day, and then we can thank you.
Yes, Gloria.
Yes, darling.
Coffee's arriving.
I feel complete now.
Gloria.
So we know we're in a bistro.
Gloria, look at. Here's the glow girl.
Oh, the glow girl. You have to duck. There we go.
Gloria is.
My
Yeah.
favorite guy.
From the spoon, now at
My
Marco's.
favorite guy, honey.
Yeah.
What's the
I'm
word
at
of the day?
Marco's.
What's the word of the day?
You don't want me to
Yeah, what's your word of the
What's your
day?
word of the day?
My word today is, thank God I have a job to come to, and I love my new job at Marco's.
Hallelujah. Marco's in West Hollywood.
Yes, I love it. I love
West
it.
Hollywood.
I love
You got
the
the
people.
number one
Everybody's good. I love it. Thank you.
So there's our word of the day.
That was Gloria, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it.
I love it.
You know how famous she is.
Yeah, she's famous, and that's our word of the day. I love
right
it.
now. Here comes the police car right now. Holy mackerel. No, she went that way, officer. Yeah, she's still doing the pretending to be a waitress thing. Yeah.
Well, this is times three,
next
going
time
overtime.
We'll tell her to cut it out, okay?
So we'll say,
Let her go. She's a good man. So long. So long.
So long,
Check
Don.
is in the mail.
So long, Harry.
So long, David. Thank you, David. Thank you, Don.
Stop thanking everybody.
Thank you.
People be thankful that you're here.
Thanks for coming through the door.
You thank too much.
Thank you.
But listen, what's happening now? Didn't you give the word? This whole show is going to shambles.
Yeah, it's gone to shambles. It was.
Format is destroyed.
We kind of made it 3 words. I love it.
No,
Came from
but
Gloria.
Job, I think.
Yeah, she said, "I love it."
Give us a poetic synonym to job.
Occupation.
Occupation, the man says.
Occupation. We've got it.
Okay.
Goodbye, folks.
Okay. Stay out.